close it out, or will Sheth make a comeback and force a game 3? Let's find out.
And yeah, if Puma is able to take this game, then he will advance into the finals of the winner bracket to take on Artist. But here we have it. Puma spawning as our red Terran here in the top right-hand corner of Daybreak. So let's hear a cheer for Puma.
And down at the bottom left part of the map, in the color purple from the Team Liquid, it is Sheth.
All right, sounds like a few people out there want Sheth to make a comeback, so let's see if he can stage that here. The map is Daybreak, as you have mentioned. You said you like this quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a really cool map. It's got a pretty well-protected natural. It's got a third that's a little bit farther away. That's where the difficulty kind of comes in. But the nice thing about it being such a big map is that you do have time to sort of establish that third. It's got 2 Xel'Naga towers, and in the middle of the map, there are some destructible rocks that kind of block the most efficient way to get between bases, I guess you could say. Although the rocks always surprise me a little bit because the top and bottom routes between bases aren't actually that much farther than going through the middle. Right. So the rocks aren't as important on this map as they would be on, you know, some of the other maps.
They're more for opening up multiple attack paths as you start moving through the game.
Yeah, so Sheth is probably going to want to be looking at taking those down in the mid-game too. That's usually what we see in a TVZ.
That's part of why I like this map so much, though, are those multiple attack paths. Even down when you're third, you can run around from the bottom or the long way around, things like that. Yeah. And I look for Sheth to really take advantage of that. I've got to think that that's why he decided to move into this map. But we'll certainly find out here in a bit. Puma actually putting up gas after Rack. So
now, the thing is, for Puma, the reason he might be happy about this map is that this map is absolutely fantastic for drop play. It's got so much room for medevacs and things to fly around that, you know, although you do have to worry about mutas, of course, later on in TVZ, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for those expansions that are a little bit outlying to be harassed by a lot of Marines.
And here we have it. Drone about to make its way into Puma's base. Sees that barracks just finishing up at the moment. And we'll see if Puma shows his hand here in a second, how much gas he does actually want to save up. Imagine we're going to see some Hellions here in a bit, but he did throw us for a loop in the last game when he decided to go after those Cloak Banshees.
The drone is trapped inside the base, but I like it. Sheth is such a manner guy. He's not harassing the SCV trying to build a building. What a nice guy.
He's just going after this worker. Yep. And the gas steel goes down and wants to keep that alive for as long as possible. And, you know, this is something actually that Pain User advocates quite a bit because, you know, just keeping that drone on the extractor, you see exactly what sort of units are going to come at you and kill it. You know, if there's only a couple of Marines being sent at you, that the opponent's teching pretty hard. So you can gain a lot of information just by having that extractor in your opponent's base.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Now, for Puma's side of things, he, you know, he was planning on doing a reactor expand anyway, so losing that second gas early on doesn't really affect anything. Normally you want to put that second gas down pretty close to after you start your command center in this type of opening. So, you know, he's going to be a little bit delayed, but it shouldn't make too huge of a difference here.
And looks like Sheth just recycling this Vespian geyser over and over again. His macro was a little bit too good. I don't think he had the resources right away when he first initially clicked on it. So
the cancel and remake record that I have seen is 7 times in a row so far. That's the most I've ever seen, 7 times.
And you know what? Sheth has seen only 1 Marine thus far, so he knows that no more bio units are coming out. In fact, we do see that pretty standard Hellion expand opening coming out of Puma at the moment.
Yep, that's right. Puma also building his command center down on the low ground, feeling confident enough to do that. But you know what? There is actually a Roach Warren going on back at the main of Sheth, and we have seen Zerg players use Roaches in TVZ on this map before, and if you're not expecting it, it can certainly do a lot of damage.
You know, counting with Kevin is going to resume because that's 4 recycles thus far. We're approaching your record.
Got a little ways to go yet, we'll see. It's not my record either. I can't remember what Zerg did. I feel like it was one of the Code A qualifier matches, but I'm trying to remember here.
Gotcha. And there's number 5. Aha, we're getting there. I want to see this record broken.
It kind of almost looks like he's gaining 19 minerals every time he does it. Like Sheth will have like unlimited money from doing this. Yeah.
Hellions are about to make their way into Sheth's base, so we'll check on that back in just a second. There's already a couple of queens though, and yes, indeed, Puma is needing to wait until a few more reinforcements come. That extractor finished. Oh, how lame.
Oh yeah, one kind of final parting thing to do there.
And Automaton 2000 observes the carnage of the Zergling getting destroyed by Hellions, but now there are Roaches out, and Puma knows he needs to get back home in a hurry.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see him sending an SCV down to his Choka's main right now. He started a bunker immediately, knows he's going to need it to defend against this, and it should be out in time. Yeah, in fact, Sheth actually turning those roaches around for a moment to deal with those Hellions. So that's going to delay it a little bit longer. So I think Puma's going to be able to handle this without too much issue.
You know, we do have more tanks coming up, but Puma's building a third CC right away. He knows roaches are coming to his base, but he figures just off of 2 production structures in that bunker that he's going to have more than enough to hold this off, and he feels confident making that third base, but that is very, very early.
Well, Puma's made some really good decisions too in this game. Making the command center on the low ground is such a good decision because it allows him to, you know, kind of mine from the gases down there a little bit earlier. Actually, he didn't take any gases, so I guess it doesn't make a difference. Never mind. Here come the roaches, and oh, are they going to actually get to focus down that bunker?
No, it looks like they're going to try and go after the siege tank first. The siege tank is going to die, and he will be able to take a couple of SCVs with him as well, but these roaches are not going to last that much longer.
Yeah, you know, I feel like Sheth had an opportunity to take out the bunker. Obviously, the tank is going to kill the roaches a little bit faster, but he did do, you know, some damage, I guess, to Puma, so not bad at all.
Yeah, Sheth going after his third base over at the 9 o'clock position, but that orbital command, that third orbital command is just about to finish up. Puma, on the other hand, he is finally adding his second Rax, but of course, these Marines are very, very unupgraded.
Yeah. I don't think Sheth knows about that orbital as well. Let's see, I don't think, nope, he has not seen the second orbital command either, so as far as he knows, Puma is still on 2 bases.
And here we have it. Puma's going to make his way across and try and do some damage with this group of Marines. What does Sheth have out on the field? Just 2 roaches. That's all the defense he has at the moment. We do see a ton more lings being produced at the moment, though.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to need to get the lings out to handle this. The big deal here is that he was able to kill that 1 tank, so now this push is much weaker with just 1 tank rather than the 2, but we'll have to see how Puma does here.
Yeah, siege is done, so that tank could siege up in just a second. We'll see if it wants to use in pop mode, though, for a little while, as a bunch of Zerglings are starting to come out.
Here's a surround, and does Puma have enough to handle this? No, even with the Hellions that were still alive, doesn't quite have what it takes, and he has to pull back. You can really see, though, what the big advantage of keeping those Hellions alive is, though. A lot of Terran players will just kind of suicide them in to try to kill drones, but if you have them for that push, the Zerglings become so much less effective. Sheth barely had enough there.
And Sheth going to lose just 1 drone, actually, cleaning up the rest of the Hellions, so he's up by 26 supply now. However, what Puma has going for him is this third base. This is very early for this to be down, so Puma should be able to macro himself back onto decent even footing, especially if he's able to defend those choke points with siege tanks right away, as he does have his tech is in a pretty good spot.
Yep, and look at this, is Zergling for Sheth running right into the third of Puma. Puma gets annihilated by a siege tank, but the fact that the tank is there and the fact that it got that far tells Puma, or tells Sheth rather, that Puma does have that third. So nice bit of scouting there by Sheth. He's always, that's what I love about watching Sheth, is it doesn't seem like he really gets caught unawares very often. We did see him get caught a little bit off guard by those Banshees, but that's a rare occurrence for him.
But he spotted that third and immediately threw up a 4th of his own. So in the top left-hand corner, we have another hatchery, so he'll be on 4 base plus macro hatch.
Yeah, exactly.
And so his production's going to be great, and we're actually going to see what appears to be a pretty intense macro game on Daybreak.
Yeah, I believe so. It wouldn't be a surprise at all. Puma doing a really good job of holding that third in a very simple, elegant way. Just 1 siege tank, 1 bunker. That's really all you need to protect against those kind of early game Zergling run-bys. So until the mutas come out, that third is going to be plenty secure.
Yeah, certainly. And let's see, another command center is about ready to hit for Puma. So he's going up to 4 bases as well. And both players are just in outright produce as many units as you possibly can mode.
It's a macro game. Yep, this is basically the definition.
There it is. So 41 lings and 8 roaches out now for Sheth. He's adding another 32 lings, however, and he is going to finish up 1-1 here in a bit.
Yeah, a lot of barracks out for EG Puma right now, starting to produce some Vikings, actually. What I'm really curious with Puma is if he's going to kind of sit back, be defensive, and try to move out in big armies, or if he's going to start making some medevacs and start trying to drop kind of the outlying bases of Sheth. I mean, if you look around the minimap, there's a lot of distance between those bases. They're not connected by creep. That's what makes dropping so appealing on this map.
And yeah, I'm curious what comes out of the starport next from Puma, because if he continues to commit over to these Vikings, it seems like an interesting choice to me. Okay, there we go, Medevac's coming out now. So these Vikings are just going to be sent across to pick off a couple of rogue overlords. They will do an effective job of that, but at the same time, Sheth is going to make his way over to the third base of Puma. He's sending a lot of units there.
Yep, he's going to give it a try here, and there's some siege tanks behind the wall. He's sent a link up there to check there. Is he going to go for it? He is indeed, running right through the gap that's around the tanks, and Sheth is going to be able to do a decent amount of damage. But here come the Marines for EG Puma.
Yeah,
but to help some SCVs though.
But the tanks have fallen. He's done a lot of work. Good hold position micro with the Zerglings in the middle line as well to knock out a lot of units. He still does have a supply advantage. I was just going to that tab there. As we see, 8 workers were killed overall, but to Puma's credit, Sheth did lose quite a few units there.
Yeah. Now, Puma's trying to move out his 4th at the moment. It's getting blocked by units there. But here's where things can be kind of difficult. The 4th is very difficult to hold in this situation. Oh, and he's actually just going to run right at the 3rd again.
Yeah, Puma actually had to stim one more time. Combat shields are not finished yet, so these are pretty low HP Marines, just on 25. Now 15 health for a lot of those.
Wow.
The Zerglings run by, pull a ton of units out of position. A bunch of them are torn up with these 2 siege tanks, but he takes out 2 of them out of position.
The siege tanks shooting each other there. In the meantime, there is a drop at the top base for Liquid Sheth. Some Lings getting taken out there as they spawn, and a lot of these drones are going to die as well.
Yeah, certainly. It looks like, are these enough Lings? Yeah, the last couple of Marines are going to go down. That drop is finally cleaned up, and I've got to say, Sheth is playing very, very well in this game, especially with that early economic advantage that Puma had taken with that undetected 3rd sitting up there for so long. So Sheth is certainly playing himself right into this and is making a very impressive performance here.
Yeah, both these guys actually are playing this really, really well. The supplies are nearly even here. We actually see Puma being the one to break down the rocks in the middle of the map here. He wants to get some good positioning with his siege tanks and his Marines, kind of control the middle of the map. And will Sheth be able to defend this push, or will Puma just pull back to his 4th? Looks like he might just do that and wait until he maxes out, gets a couple more upgrades, and then move out.
Baneling speed just finished. I love watching that moment when Banelings go from crawling to rolling as they learn, like, hey, this is a lot faster.
That's right. It's like when you get to kindergarten, they teach you how to do a somersault, you know?
But these Banelings have advanced past kindergarten. There we have it, and they're going to make a big flank attack here in just a second. Planetary Fortress is up, but there are so many units here. Not a lot of medevac cover as well. A couple of those have been used for drops, and looks like, speaking of that, a big drop coming through the 12 o'clock position. However, all of these Marines have actually taken quite a bit of damage, most of those just on 35 health.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, the stims from EG Puma really damaged all those Marines more than anything else. Oh, the Muta's taking out the Vikings at the bottom, but here comes a drop at the top of the map.
Oh, Banelings already clearing up a lot of those Marines, and that's going to allow Sheth the luxury of sending up just a few Lings to take out the rest of these units. Yes, a few drones will go down, but Sheth did a pretty good job mitigating that damage.
Now, if you look at the production here right now, Sheth is moving into what's become his typical TVZ style. Oh, another drop at the 3rd base of Sheth right now, actually.
At the same time, though, Sheth is actually killing a ton of SCVs with Mutilus over at Puma's 3rd.
Yeah, wow. These players really trading a lot of blows this game. It's becoming a bit of a slap fight right now. But when the dust clears, I mean, both of them kind of end up about even. I mean, Sheth is going for that pretty fast hive. Another drop here from Puma trying to do some damage. And I think we're going to see those adrenal gland upgrades pretty soon from Sheth as well.
Yep, and it looks like this medevac is going to go down. One more shot. There goes. All right. A few Marines are caught in that as well. And Puma loading up yet another drop, so his multitasking is not done yet, but he is starting to impose his will in the middle of the map, moving up with a lot of siege tanks.
Yeah, if he can prevent this 3rd from Sheth from really getting any traction, that'll be a huge, huge deal. In the meantime, some Mutas coming into the planetary. You know what? There are no turrets there. He's going to need some Marines, and he does bring them.
Yeah, but it looks like Sheth, is he going to have enough, actually?
Oh,
I thought he was going to have
know.
plenty enough, but it's actually going to be a lot closer than I had anticipated.
No, he's distracted because he just lost his 5th base.
Yes.
And Puma is starting to look pretty strong here. I mean, an even supply. TVZs, generally that does favor the Terran player. At the top base of Sheth, another drop from EG Puma, doing some more damage. Hardly any drones there even anymore. Oh, saves a couple of the Marines.
And drop finally does get cleaned up, and these are just very upgraded Zerglings at the moment. For this Bioforce, these Marines are now on 1-2, about to finish, +3 weapons. We have some Banelings about to hit, but Puma is deciding to just go for it, sieging up all of his tanks. All those Zerglings were caught in a choke and died very quickly.
Yeah, really good positioning from Puma right now, but are there enough Banelings to break it? There may be. Oh, nice Marine splitting by Puma, just not quite enough. And, you know, Puma knows that Sheth is really low on units right now. He's just going to rush right to the natural.
Oh, and Sheth knows it, and GG's. Congratulations to EG's Puma, who advances into the finals of the winner bracket here at IPL 3.
Yeah, you know, Sheth has played so well today, but in the end, you know, Puma just looked like a much stronger player in that match. I think he's definitely one